This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenro radio playlist. zenroclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Portian Bakery. If you're located in the Portian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Portian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone could podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. All right, so since we just watched it, I'm thinking we're gonna start with the Morbius trailer because what it really signals. So wait, did you like it? No.
It was okay. Like I don't.
The same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, when I saw it, like Ray was the one who, I didn't even know it came out. Ray was like, "Did you see the Morbius trailer?" I'm like, "No." And then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of crappy." But what I noticed is that I think they're building more and more the DC Sony collaboration, because what he was talking about is, well, you know, how we have like Venom who moved into the Disney universe for Spider-Man, like at the end of Venom, right. So with Blade coming out, what he's saying is there's, like, Ray knows more about comics, so he said that there's actually a super group, like with I forgot what he called it, but like it's like a bunch of anti-hero villains, and then they're gonna cross with the Blade universe, because Morbius is Blade's primary enemy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's like, if you watch the show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's where he came from. Morbius is the main bad guy in
Blade.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just connected with Spider-Man.
He's also in Spider-Man. That's probably, you're thinking the 90s TV show. They had Morbius and Spider-Man as well.
I think even in the comics that I've had, I think it was Spider-Man comics with Morbius in it.
Morbius, but that's because Blade came later, and then they merged Blade into Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
So like in the 90s TV show, there's like a mini segment, like a whole, they didn't really do like series before, but like, you know, they introduced like a bad guy for like 10 episodes and then he'd like leave.
Okay.
Like little story arcs.
Yeah.
So Blade was a story arc and Morbius was the main enemy.
Okay. I see.
But Morbius was what helped Spider-Man overcome the human spider. Do you remember that from the TV show, where Spider-Man was actually turning into a human spider? So he needed Morbius's help because Morbius was like...
I don't remember the story.
Okay, so so he was turning into like a physical spider, like an actual spider.
Okay.
And like he needed Morbius's help because Morbius was battling the vampirism.
Yeah.
So he came up with the solution, like the antidote.
Right.
So he was seeking help from him, and then that's when Blade came in, because Blade's a vampire hunter, and then So seeing this, and then where everything's headed, I wonder if there's gonna be like a crazy cross collaboration. I feel like Spider-Man's gonna be it is definitely going to bring Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, like, you know, like the multiverse.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to happen. I feel like we're all going to be shocked. But
that's the. I mean, we're going to be talking about a Marvel movie today too, but it's like that's the one that I'm more waiting on.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah. I saw that it was like potentially the longest
movie.
The longest Spider-Man out of all of them. So like, I guess, I don't know, but that's like arbitrary. Maybe it's like 2 minutes longer than all of them. But it's supposed to be really long.
Right.
They're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say was, all right, it'll come back to me. Damn, I forgot. All right, so Morbius, I believe, especially with the ending of Venom, I think that's where they're headed. That it's gonna be a collaboration franchise. It has to be.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. See. Yeah, again, there's more deals that Sony and Disney have to make, right? Because these are Sony.
But the fact that you saw not Andrew Garfield, you saw Tom Holland at the end of
yeah, having been affected by that.
Yeah.
So
it must be coming.
Well, yeah, we have to see, right? Like how much.
Yeah. True.
Like what? Like if that is the case, and we know something about Blade as well,
right? Yeah. That he's coming.
Yeah.
Or that he's connected with the two. Like, what do you mean?
Well, he's coming, but that was in the Disney one. Like, are they gonna actually combine them? Right? Like, is that gonna be a thing?
Well, I feel like they are, just because of like everything. Even the fact that they said like I'm Venom. It's like, okay, so it's in the same world. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, yeah, no, we know it's in the same world, but
but if they're in the same world and then Venom crossed over, then by default,
sure, yeah, it'd be cool to see it all,
like as
come together like that.
Yeah, totally. I feel like that's what's gonna happen for the Spider-Man one. I'm pretty pumped for that one. But okay, so that out of the way, let's talk about the primary topic of this episode, which is Eternals. What do you think? We both saw it Friday.
Yeah, we both saw it Friday.
And I'm seeing it twice. I was like, oh man. Me and my sister were like, oh, we should have just waited. But whatever.
I was not the greatest.
Would you agree that it was the worst Marvel movie so far?
Would it be the worst?
I think it said that it was like the lowest scoring Disney Marvel.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
out of all of them,
because there was like other Marvel, like
even like
the Hulk. No. It's
okay, not including,
because I don't think they were bought by Disney until later, right? So this is the new, like the Disney Marvel of the Disney Marvels,
right? Okay, gotcha.
It was the lowest.
I think it does
one.
feel like that. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like these are. I mean, I didn't like both of the new ones.
Dude, all right, so. That's kind of freaky for me, because the fact that the last two ones weren't that great, I was like, is this where we're headed now? Because like with Iron Man, it was all about realism, and then we watched that whole arc since we were little kids, and then we like saw the death of Tony Stark, saw the death of Captain America, and now the mantle's being passed forward. Is this the new generation and we're just not into it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're going into characters that we don't know well enough about also.
Yeah, true.
So it's like kind of like maybe there was a connection to the older ones just because we grew up with those.
No, I feel like the realism was there though.
No. There was there. I'm saying that there's an add-on to all of that, right? It's like, and these are like characters I don't know anything about, but I don't feel like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
I don't have a connection to them. Like I was thinking about Eternals, and I don't think I connected with any of the actual Eternals characters.
Funny, yeah, same. I felt like that too. Except for the deaf one. I connected with her.
Okay, sure.
That's why I'm learning sign language now.
Right. But like, there was nothing to necessarily like about any of them.
Yeah, no. I totally agree. It was almost like, okay, I think that was like an editing pacing issue. I felt like it was paced too quickly. They were giving you all the information too quickly, and the editing was odd. Like okay, so for example, right in the beginning, they're at that party, and then, well, not right at the beginning, like after they land on Earth, then it shows them like the Asian girls going to the party, and then it's the dude's birthday, and then all of a sudden the demon or whatever it is shows up in the water.
Deviant. Like, the deviant shows up.
Yeah, it shows so quickly. You're like, whoa, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? There was no, like, the pacing was just too quick. It was like you kind of had to know what was going on already.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they were doing the backstories of it.
But even with that, it was like not enough to, like, it was like, oh, all of a sudden they're back. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, it didn't show them like living in it would have been cooler if it was like it showed them living their lives and then like something happened. You know what I mean? Like more of a slow progression. But I guess with so many characters, you can't really do that because you'd have to jump into all
there's so many. Yeah, they had so many characters.
And then them dying too. Like Salma Hayek's character died so quickly. Like I thought she was gonna be in the franchise, and then Gilgamesh died too. It was like, although not to be like racist, but like I was confused with Gilgamesh and Doctor Strange's partner. I was like, they're like so close together. No, you got mad, right? And they both played.
But you've seen him before, though.
Who's he from?
Train to Busan.
Oh yeah.
That's who he is.
okay. But didn't he play like another character, like the wizard partner of Doctor Strange played Genghis Khan? Didn't this guy play something too?
No,
he wasn't.
No,
He
no,
never. Oh, okay.
No.
okay.
I think you've only because he's a Korean actor.
Oh, he's Korean.
Yeah, that Stranger was on Korean, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
he's from that world.
Yeah, but they're just oddly they're both like heavier set,
Yeah,
muscular.
I understand what you mean. Yeah,
So
I
I was
understand what
like,
you mean. Yeah,
It would be
but they're not
weird to
the.
see them both on screen at the same time. So maybe that's why they killed them off. I don't know. You know,
I don't know.
it seemed like they killed a lot of key people, like Salma Hayek dying and the Train to
And I
Busan
didn't
guy.
like.
I was like,
I
that was
didn't
odd.
feel like they were big actors, but they didn't have huge roles,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's sort of like, so okay. So like you could have a bunch of big actors and they all play key roles and you love all the characters. For example, Ocean's 11, right?
Yeah,
Ocean's 11
yeah.
had Brad
Right.
Pitt, Matt
Yeah.
Damon, George Clooney. Like it was stacked.
Yeah.
But you cared about the movie. It was a good movie because they gave each person like a backstory, you know. But like this one is more like you just threw them in there and it was odd.
Right.
It was odd because like, oh, you're just a bunch of robots that I've created to like
Which is
inhabit worlds.
Yeah,
You're
which
like,
is
"What?"
which is very funny because it's like because I know the main actress,
Who's the main? Which
the
one?
Asian lady.
Oh yeah, okay.
The main I don't remember her name, but she
Cersei.
Yeah, Cersei. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Siri or Cersei?
Cersei, like Game of
Cersei.
Thrones Cersei.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And she was in this I think show. It's a UK show where she's an android.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's so
I was like,
cool.
oh, that's funny because then she's just also playing an android.
Oh, that's fun. Typecast, bro. She was. I didn't know her from anything else, but my sister like leaned
From
over to
Asian,
me.
that's,
Yeah, she's like, that's the girl from Crazy Rich Asians. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking about the whole. I'm like, oh, she's the nice one. She's
Yeah.
the nice sister. Yeah, that was. I liked her as a character. Good character.
Yeah, she was, but there, again, no
But
one to really.
It's hard to attach to it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Oh, they also killed off the main guy, the Superman. type
Yeah.
guy. So like, you know what I mean? Like they killed off all these crazy Eternals, and it's like, okay, so we're left with like the B-list actors now. Like not really, but you know.
Yeah, I know what
like,
you mean. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not something I really liked. Like
the movie
wasn't
or-
a great. Yeah. Just in general, like
And there were so many like odd moments that you didn't expect in Marvel movies. Like we're talking about like the sex scene. We're like, whoa, that's different.
yeah, that was. Yeah, that was. I was like, wow, there's kids in this.
I know. Yeah,
They're
it's
like,
like,
why
it's-
are they doing it?
Yeah.
They're pushing boundaries
They
right
are pushing
now.
boundaries, and they did it with the little girl that I thought the girl was like potentially trans. I was like, is that what you know what I mean? Because like it's like very boyish, and then they did the black superhero. What was his name? I don't remember, but he was gay.
Yeah.
And then they showed that like the kissing of it, and I was like, wow, you're really pushing boundaries here. You know, like it's a different era. If you had played this like back when Iron Man 1 came out, we'd have been like, whoa, it was weird. But you know, like I feel like it's a big statement about society now.
Yeah.
I think maybe if you look at it as a statement piece, that's probably where Eternals shines the best because it was so diverse. It showed the Indian dude, the Asian girl. You know, it like tapped into culture and like sexuality too. It's like I feel like that's its redeeming quality.
Yeah. They were banned in some of like
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia,
'Cause of the
Kuwait,
character.
and stuff, and they wanted them to delete certain scenes, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So it's almost like Eternals is more of a statement piece than an actual like good Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say it was good.
No, but
There was a lot of not controversy, but like a lot of pushing boundaries.
pushing boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, all right. So like, let's talk about the story because I thought the story was kind of dumb.
Actually, I thought that in the beginning too. Is like I think one of these Eternals is gonna be the bad guy. Or like,
We thought that. Remember in the commercial, we thought it was going to be the mind reader guy, the mind guy. Remember the what's his name? Freaking, they're so forgettable. Druig.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
Druid,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The
'Cause
one
I
that was in
thinking,
like the
Druid, so
Amazon
Druid.
rainforest or something.
So I think we both thought he was gonna be the evil guy because
Yeah.
remember he walked out like all evil. We're
Yeah,
like, oh, maybe
yeah.
he's the one that
he's got that
turns.
face for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he turned out to be a good guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. Actually, one thing that I thought, again, speaking about pushing boundaries, is they really dance between the gray. So like Thanos, right?
Yeah.
When they were doing that movie, one thing that Bradley Cooper was saying is that one thing that made Thanos a good character was you agreed with him even though he's evil. So what they did in Eternals is they had certain characters agreeing with the fact that they should kill off the entire human race, and then other ones that didn't agree. So it's like, yeah, you saw both sides of the coin, like the Pakistani guy, or he's playing a Hindu.
He's Indian guy, yeah,
Okay.
but the Indian character.
Yeah. So he, no, not the butler though, like the
No.
the Indian
I'm talking
Eternal.
about the Eternal.
Yeah, so he was like, but it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
if we stop this thing from happening, then other worlds won't be built. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So it's like this dance between life and death. You know, it reminds me of like Nietzsche, where it's like there's beyond good and evil.
Right.
There's no such thing as good and evil.
Yeah.
Like it's just what do you think is
Yeah.
good and evil?
Yeah.
Like how the people are like, oh, but what about like the life that's here? It's like, okay, but what about the life that can be created? Because that was the point of the whole point of this thing is the actual backstory is this god character created things to get rid of dinosaurs or like things that wouldn't let
Intelligent
life evolve.
Yeah.
So he would send these deviants down, but then the deviants would run amok and they'd start killing too many people.
Yeah.
So they had to send the Eternals down to balance out the deviants. And the whole premise is that if you build a population big enough, you can create enough energy that the giant that's inside
The being, yeah,
the
or
being
whatever,
inside
yeah.
the world
Yeah.
can like flourish and then destroy that world and then
Create.
new life.
New-
It's like a star being born.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And then the star, like our sun is the star. So like a star being born and creates a new galaxy. So I guess it's sort of like they're trying to explain the cosmos that way.
Yeah.
But that's such a weird storyline. Like, okay, so you send these evil things down, and then you're like, oh no, they're too evil now. Now we need to send in Eternals to balance things out. All the while, you really just want to raise the population so that we can kill the Earth.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like such a dumb.
It's weird.
When you really think about the storyline, you're like, this is a weird storyline. Like, what? You know? Like,
Yeah.
And the fact that they froze the
But
giant
I
thing-
just always felt odd or feel weird where it's like I guess sure it's planet Earth, but it's like all of a sudden, oh no, like Salma Hayek's character, because she's done it multiple times in multiple planets,
yeah.
and all of a sudden Earth is one you want to change on. Like it just kind of always
totally.
It feels
I agree.
weird.
That's why it was weird too, because it was like you've done this millions of times.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like they did. See, that was the thing. They didn't even show her falling in love. If they showed her falling in love, it's like, okay, cool, I get it.
Right,
You
yeah.
know? It's like you fell in love with something on this planet. Well, I guess she said she fell in love with the people, like their beauty.
Yeah, but like,
but not like
it's never happened. In
yeah, you've never enjoyed another civilization before. Like,
yeah,
that's weird.
it's like because you're trying to get to the intelligent level for that other world.
Yeah.
So don't they reach something similar? Or
Yeah.
like I don't understand.
I agree. It's like it's too many like plot holes. It's like they felt like they were.
I just feel it's always weird when it's like Earth is the center of the universe.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's just like, you know, I
That's
don't
why
know.
I like the Indian character's idea, where he's like, yeah, but what about the next generation? You know, the next stars that'll be born. Like that made sense. It's like, yeah, we had our time. Cool. Like let's move on. You know, I think I would have sided with him. Well, I do side with him because it's like it's too Earth-centric. It's very odd. Like it makes sense that Circe, she fell in love with someone, so okay, she wants to protect it.
Yeah.
But like, why did Salma Hayek's character want to protect it? It made no sense. And then why were they so mad when they found out that they were robots? I mean, like, okay, but what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like now let's go against our programming. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You found
like-
out that you've been doing this for millions of years and all of a sudden you grew a conscience? Like, that made no sense. That you've never grown a conscience before? In a million times that this has been made.
Yeah. It just
It's too many holes. It's like,
it's just weird.
Yeah. One thing that I did like though was the names. So like Gilgamesh. I literally, this is weird timing. I was at a used bookstore and I saw the book Gilgamesh. So that's actually the oldest story that's ever been recorded in human history. So I read that prior to, I didn't even know the guy's name was Gilgamesh. And then watching the movie, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Like he's been around since the beginning. So they built a story around him.
Right.
Like he's the oldest character. And then like other characters like Athena, right? Yeah. And then there's like, oh, you're Athena, like no, drop the A. Remember the little kid? Yeah. So like that was cool. I liked.
Yeah, they're all named after Icarus.
Icarus. Yeah. Flew too close to the sun, and they're like, oh yeah, what was the person's name? The girl who made the stories.
Who made the stories? Oh, yeah, I don't remember her name.
But she's like, she like made that story up.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I forgot her name. Kid. It's
let me look it up then.
Yeah, it's gonna bother me. It was so, they kept saying it.
Her name? Or
yeah, her name, or like her nickname. I don't know. And then that was cool how like the Indian dude, he's like, I got into movies because of you.
Sprite.
Yes, Sprite. Yeah, so that was also weird too. How
Makari. Yeah.
So that was also weird too. How they made the Indian dude like so prominent in the movie.
Yeah.
Like
Kingo.
Yeah. So he was like a Bollywood actor. He was filming a documentary. He was the one who was so outspoken, and then he just left at the end of the movie. That was so odd too.
He didn't join the fight. Yeah.
I was like, why? You played such a predominant role, and then you just left with your partner. It's so odd.
Yeah.
He's like, why did you leave? Why did you need to say all that? Why do we place so much attention on you for no reason?
Right. Yeah. I mean, he added so much to this. At least he added something to the story.
A lot. Yeah.
That he left.
And they left. It was like, what's going on? You know what's funny? I thought this was kind of cool how they were like, oh, Sprite, you want to live like all of us, you want to become an adult, so I can change you. So okay, that also was kind of weird. It's like, oh, so you have godly powers now? Like, what's going on?
Hey, how did that happen? I don't really understand that.
Because of the unified mind. Like, what? Okay. So I thought this is pretty interesting. So they gave her the ability to age because the actress is going to age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's so dumb. It's like, okay, we need to give her this humanity because we're going to keep her in the series. So it's like, I don't know, it's just silly to me. Like the way they filled all the answers was silly. Yeah. What did you like about the movie? Was there anything? Like nothing.
No, but I mean, the only one thing that I did like, there's only one character I liked, which was the human character, which was the Indian uncle.
Snark? Oh
no, the Indian uncle, like that.
Yeah,
he's
cool.
the like at least that was consistent, and
that was funny. He thought he was a vampire, so he tried to kill him. Remember, like tried to stake me. He's I've apologized for that so many times. That was a really good interaction between the two of them. I like that. I think he was dropping like a lot of wisdom bombs there.
Yeah, that's why I liked him, because he was the one making. It kind of makes sense, like coming from that kind of culture. It's like there's like
totally
like you'd accept them as gods.
True,
you already, and you're gonna treat them like gods.
True,
like this is of course gonna happen.
I also thought it was like, now that you say that, it's also interesting that they played like spotlights on different cultures. I know I said that in the beginning of this podcast, but like thinking about the stereotypes that they put in there, like they showed the Bollywood scene. You know, and that was a long scene. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Right? They like did a full dance, you know. I thought that was interesting, like demonstrate culture. How Circe was addicted to her phone, because it's like a stereotypical Asian thing, right? Like take pictures of everything and like post on, you know what I mean? Like the whole food gram thing started from Asian culture.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
You know, like you'd order food and you take a photo of it. Yeah. So like the fact that they put that in there, I thought that was pretty cool, but not cool enough to like be worthy of a recommended watch. Like I wouldn't recommend this movie.
Yeah. No.
So another thing at the very end, let's talk about the two what do you call it? The two post-credit scenes.
Post-credit scenes.
So the first post-credit scene, I was like, if this is your new supervillain, it's like he doesn't even seem cool. Like, where are we going, Marvel? You know what I mean? Like, everyone seems so lame now. Like,
yeah, I didn't. You know what? I didn't know who he was.
Oh, Harry Styles.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know either. People were shouting.
People were cheering. Yeah. I was like, wait, they know this character? I didn't realize it was the actor.
That's so funny. Yeah, they were these like.
I found out kids. After. It's like, who's Harry Styles? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, well, I've heard the name, but
I've heard the name, but I can't like put a face to the name.
All the teen kids were like shouting in the movie. I was like, what's going on?
Right.
Who's this guy? But like, he didn't even seem cool. Like, he didn't seem threatening. Is Thanos' brother, and like.
But maybe he's not a bad guy.
But like, even his manner, like, I don't know, it was like a weird signal of where we're going, like, just like Captain Marvel, you know, like that wasn't a great movie either. So it's like, is the second phase of Marvel going downhill, you know?
Hey, I don't know. Yeah,
I kind of feel like that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going more towards like kiddie-ish now. It's becoming more mainstream. They're trying to be politically correct about everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's the new it's the new guys, right? So it's like, I feel like they're not as good.
Yeah.
In general, but I guess I don't know. Yeah, either
like if you look at the origin of Marvel, like the first movie, which is technically Iron Man, he was like a womanizer, alcoholic. You like things that he's genius, but like you don't really pair him with admirable qualities,
right?
He was like a complex character.
Yeah.
But now we're just going to cookie cutter. That's what I feel. It's like everyone's like a very cookie cutter character. And you know, like when they started the first Iron Man, they didn't want Robert Downey Jr. because he just came out of jail.
Right.
So like his career was like on a decline.
Yeah.
So they took a chance on him. And that realism, that darkness, you know, it made the Marvel universe appealing, you know. But now it just feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that kind of jokey, I can't really take this serious. Do you feel that too, or?
Yeah, there's a lot more comedy in these than
and political correctness.
The old ones. Yeah, we'll see. I hope it's just a stumbling start.
Okay.
Of the new phase, if they can. I don't know. The stories are not great.
Yeah, that's mean, right?
That's another thing they have to fix.
Remember how mind-blowing Iron Man was? The first Iron Man, because it was like so realistic, and like that's the first time you saw a superhero that you're like, oh, this could be real. Yeah, this could actually be in our time. But now it's like we've just completely abandoned that. And I think that's like a weird signal, because like Shang-Chi was like odd. This one's odd. I mean, Spider-Man's probably redeeming, but also at the same time, when they showed like Doctor Strange wearing the winter coat, like some of the trailer scenes, I was kind of like, oh, this is odd too. But like, I'll give it a chance because like Spider-Man, but you know what I mean? Like that feeling is there. I'm not sure if I like Marvel anymore, you know, although DC is getting pretty intense. We'll get into that after, but second post-credit scene was Rob Stark.
Not Rob Stark.
Ned Stark? What's his name? The bastard.
Just Snow.
Jon
Snow.
Yeah, right. He's not a Stark. Right. Jon Snow. My
Anyways,
so Jon Snow picks up a sword.
Doesn't pick it up, right?
He's about
to pick it up or thinking about picking it up. I don't know what that sword is.
Yeah.
And then you heard a voice.
Did you know that, or did you Google that after?
I Googled it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I was like, the voice was like very prominent, but I was like, I don't know. I can't like connect it right away.
Because when you said it to me, I was like, "Oh, dude, you know his voice?" I was like,
"No." I was trying to understand like what happened at the end and what is that sword. And then it came up that the voice was
Blade's voice.
Was Blade voice?
Yeah,
Mahershala Ali's voice for Blade. So
yeah, me and my sister were trying to figure out who it was. We're like, is that what's his name? The Agent Shield guy, Nick Fury. I was like, is that Nick Fury? What's going on? Yeah, but I don't know how
people saying it was
that.
Blade. So like, I don't know. Jon Snow's a big actor, so it's like
That's why it
he
was
was
so
such a
weird.
small role. I was like,
Such a
what's
small
going
role.
on
It
here?
was so odd. Like when you watch, no, you know what this movie felt like? This movie felt like Black Widow. You know, Black Widow. It's like we didn't need to see any of that. We just needed the final scene where the girl from Seinfeld is there.
Yeah.
Like that was the only scene
Right,
that was like, okay,
right.
this is a key scene moving
Okay.
everything forward.
Yeah.
It's almost like just like that for this movie. It's like we didn't need any of that. We just needed the final scene with Jon Snow and them on the spaceship, you know, to progress things forward.
Yeah.
And I guess you could technically say that's what Venom was like too. We didn't need to see anything of Venom. We just needed the post-credit scene. It's almost like we're living for the post-credit scene now.
Yeah, that's what's happened. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's very odd.
Yeah.
But
It's the tease or the intrigue of okay, what's to come next with these characters, but yeah.
so I wonder, like, so Jon Snow is going to be in Blade? That's the idea?
I guess so.
But
I mean,
who's
maybe,
he gonna
yeah.
play? I don't even know.
I don't know. And what's his background? Like,
Yeah, when he's like, oh, I
I have
found
a
this
secret
thing.
too. It's like, what's the
Yeah,
secret?
well, what were you going to say?
Yeah.
That's very odd. Everything was so like cliffhangery, but like not in a good way. It wasn't like I wanted to hear more. It was more like, oh, why'd you just tell me, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it wasn't like intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
It was just annoyance. That's what it left me with. Like, now I gotta wait for the other.
Now I
movie
gotta
to
wait.
figure it out?
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah. One thing I thought was pretty interesting is, you know, the when we saw the trailer, I thought it was Galactus, and then I googled at the end, like, is that guy
Ares or
no, what's his name? Arishem.
yeah.
I was like, oh, is that Galactus? And so this is pretty gnarly. Well, not dumb gnarly. So, so Arishem, the race of Arishem, it was created in contrast to Galactus. So Galactus's race, that's why they look similar to the giants.
Oh, yeah.
So there's Galactus's race and there's Arishem's race. And the whole idea is that Arishem is all about creating life and Galactus is about destroying life.
Huh.
Because Galactus is the world destroyer.
Okay.
He has like Silver Surfer.
Right.
So just like the Arishem has the Eternals, Galactus has Silver Surfer to find the worlds that he's going to eat. And that's the story of Silver Surfer. He comes to Earth and then like he meets the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, that seems almost dumb too. You know what I mean? Like, why we have like these two opposing races that one wants to destroy Earth for good and one wants to destroy Earth because he's a world leader. You know what I mean? It's I feel like we're getting murky here with the Marvel stories, you know?
Yeah, they're delving into things that they didn't go into in the first. Like that's why I think all the Fantastic Four movies didn't do really well. Like after that, it was just like Galactus, Silver Surfer, World
Galactus
Leader.
Was in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah,
because there was a Silver Surfer one.
Yeah, there was Silver Surfer in there. Yeah. I don't think we knew directly of Galactus. It was just that we knew what Silver Surfer was here to do. Then I think he showed up. I'm not sure if he showed up, but
he did show up, but he wasn't. He didn't look like
he
Galactus.
didn't do much.
He was like a gas cloud.
Okay, right.
It was just like a world. It was like a gas cloud that would eat a world, and then Silver Surfer did all the bidding.
It just didn't like we can connect with Thanos as a villain. It made sense, but like gods or like these
and now we're getting
huge creatures.
Weird.
It's like
could that giant creature not just kill Galactus or Thanos? Sorry.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you know, and then even in the what was that, the timeline,
like, because these, I think it's like more like these big villains or whatever, Galactus and stuff, we have no connection to these things. These are just all they do is world destroy, eat worlds or something. It's
they're like beyond the scope of what we can see. Like like they're so big that like
I think what makes a good villain is someone you can connect to.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Right?
I agree.
And there's no connection to these big creatures.
So that's why I'm wary of where this new Marvel thing is going. I might not jump on board. You know, like with the other, I feel really good that when we started watching Marvel movies, like when they came out in our adolescence, we finished it. Like they finished it. That was it.
Yeah.
We're done. Like that was our generation.
I guess that's the thing. Yeah, I guess after Infinity War or the whatever it was after that, the last movie of Thanos.
Now
now it's a new. It's that's what it's called. It's a whole new phase.
Yeah,
like it's a whole new.
And I might not jump on this one. Like after watching those two, I'm like, I might not be into this anymore.
Right. Like I'm still connected to the old ones, which is still we got Spider-Man to come.
Yeah.
We still got Doctor Strange and another Black Panther.
Yeah.
And the Thor one, right? Or Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy, they're together. So
maybe I'll watch those.
So like those are still the old remnants of the remnants of the old. So I'll still be watching those.
They're like the transitionary characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like that's when it started to convert to this new world. Mm-hmm. But I'm just not feeling this new world. I'm like, none of the characters I'm liking. Right. Spider-Man, yeah, but Spider-Man was under Tony Stark, and I like Tony Stark, and Tony Stark was the one guiding Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
And then now it seems like Doctor Strange is guiding Spider-Man, but like Doctor Strange is not Iron Man. But you know what I mean? He was like the spiritual Iron Man. Because remember that movie? He was all into materialism as well. That was a really good movie, but at the same time, it's like, can he stand alone as a pivotal character? Like, who is the anchor character? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Iron Man was the anchor character.
Yeah. And
then they killed him.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be... I don't know who. Yeah. Someone has to be like the leader kind of thing.
Yeah, but who
leading
is it? Spider-Man,
the force.
maybe? Like, I don't know. Doctor Strange?
But I think even Spider-Man, it'll that's coming to an end, I think.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? Like, they're just going to end the Spider-Man series, or?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be continuing Spider-Man for how long. I don't know. But like, I'm wondering if that's...
No, I don't know. You're going to give up a main character? Like a main franchise character? They're going to definitely pay him like so much money to stay on. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. You're getting rid of like the main character.
He's the only one that would be, but
that'd be like, I mean, like getting rid of like Doctor Strange. That seems more likely to me than, because like Spider-Man's like you think of Marvel, you think of Spider-Man. You don't even think of Iron Man. You think of Iron Man now because like that's who it was built.
Built
like,
around.
The most iconic character, I would say, was Spider-Man. And or the X-Men, but they haven't even created them yet. But now I'm kind of like wary of the X-Men. Like, are you gonna be a bunch of like politically correct X-Men? Like, what's going on?
We'll see. Yeah, they have a lot to play with, but so far I haven't liked the new stuff.
Yeah, same. So I'm like very wary.
Because I know they're going to be doing Fantastic Four again. So we're going in that direction of Galactus.
But is it going to be good? You know, it's like... Or you said a lot of people like this movie though, right?
Well, it seemed like that, at least from the people that I was hearing as I was walking out the theater.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So maybe...
So there is an audience. I feel like there's still an audience. It's just going to be the newer, the new age audience.
I feel like it's they're tailoring it to a different generation now.
Yeah.
Like, think about if you dropped Iron Man 1 now. People hissed at Robert Downey Jr.'s character. Like, the things he was saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I feel like now...
I think it would have been taken differently, yeah.
They would have been taken way differently. People would have been so mad.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, yeah, it's just a different era.
That we're not yet connected to, I guess.
Yeah, or like we passed that era because ours was the Robert Downey Jr. era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so anything else about Eternals before we move on?
No.
Yeah.
It's a pass.
It's a pass. Yeah, I would say it's a pass too. I'm still gonna watch it again because like we committed, but yeah, I don't know going forward. Like, do I really want to watch these Marvel movies? I feel like
I'll probably still watch them, but I wouldn't do it like.
I wouldn't be so excited to watch. Like, oh my god, this is coming out. You know, like.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm
and are they making when they make Blade? Is Blade like PG-13? Or are we making Blade rated R here?
Are you gonna be like the original Blade? Like that was sick.
Yeah,
the rated R Blade.
I think they have to make it rated R.
Yeah, if they don't, that'd be so sad.
Yeah,
Blade, the first like him as a superhero was so good. Like Blade when that first came out, I think it was like 90. 99 or 98.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this before, but like we were little kids
Yeah.
when that came out. That
But they
was
were real
so
good.
sick.
Yeah.
I love the whole like the 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, during Blade 3, when Ryan Reynolds was there, they were already talking about him playing Deadpool. That yeah, you know the Deadpool thing was a long
Oh yeah, no,
time
he
coming.
played Deadpool.
What? Oh no.
Also, right?
Yeah, but that was like stupid. Like that wasn't like
No. I know it
Yeah.
was a bad version of it.
But I mean, when Blade 3 came out,
That they've
the
been
way
talking.
since then, because of the way he was, the way his mannerisms. Like if you watch them, I don't know if you watched the movie, but he's basically playing Deadpool in that movie.
Okay.
He's like he's a he's a mercenary, like killing all the vampires.
Yeah.
But like his reactions, like when they'd hit him, and then his sarcasm that would come out. Ever since then, people were like, "Oh, he'd be a great Deadpool."
Right.
But like nothing ever got greenlit. But that was like 20 years
That
ago.
was a
or
long
something.
time.
A long
Yeah, it'll be
time
interesting if they do Blade. Well, when they do Blade, and if Deadpool can
Blade?
mix in that world.
Yeah, sure. That'd be cool. I don't know if they cross over though. Yeah. Deadpool is an X. Oh, I guess that was already shown. But Deadpool played a main character, like a primary character in X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, because him and Wolverine were a part of the Weapon X program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're both Canadian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wolverine's Canadian.
Well, yeah. Well, I know that.
I'm pretty sure Deadpool's Canadian too, because he's a part of that Weapon X. That's where they met each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Funny.
And then he had that whole storyline with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
same,
really
like-
hopeful, but I mean, I hope it gets better. It's just I don't know if I can
Yeah.
necessarily believe that yet.
Yeah, I agree. It's murky. With these last two, I'm like, ugh. So I like where it's going. I don't know. I do like the Sony ones though. I just don't like the Disney Marvel. The Sony Marvel's good.
Sony Marvel, because they're
Like the
sticking
Venom.
to that.
Yeah.
They have a style.
Yeah, that like rough edge kind of
Yeah.
thing. I mean, or no, Fox Marvel? Which is the one who has Deadpool? Fox? Or is that Sony?
No, Deadpool was Fox. I
Yeah,
think.
okay.
But,
Fox also owns X-Men, right? Well, I know that they gave it back to Marvel.
well, no, Disney now owns Fox, right? So they own all the properties.
Yeah, okay.
So
Cool,
they
cool.
own all the properties except for the Spider-Man.
Got it. Okay, so the X-Men, yeah. We'll see.
I don't know. Yeah, how are they going to introduce
Fox.
X-Men?
I like the Fox Marvel, but now that X-Men is
Well, there were some
owned
bad
by-
Fox Marvel ones though.
No, but I mean the fact that they put out, Deadpool and
Yeah,
X-Men,
like the later ones were good.
Yeah. But I
And
mean,
the
that's when-
earlier X-Men's were good.
That's when superhero movies were just starting.
Yeah,
out.
yeah. There was but then the Fantastic Four was not a good one.
They were trying to find their place still.
Yeah. They weren't in the same universe yet. They were just individual.
Yeah.
Things.
Exactly. It wasn't until Marvel when they started putting everyone together, which was really sick. Actually, no.
Disney, yeah. Before Disney.
Didn't Fox put them together, like X-Men movies together?
Yeah, but they did the X-Men's.
Oh, but X-Men's all part of the same storyline. Yeah, no. Yeah, Disney was the first one to merge storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is pretty cool, but I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see going forward. Like, if it's good.
Where it's, yeah.
So speaking of Marvel, the contrast to that is DC. I heard this. I was listening to DC and Marvel. I think DC came first.
As a
And made it all popular. Marvel actually copied all the characters. That's why you have similar characters in both camps.
Yeah.
Anyways, we won't get into that. But the Batman stuff, I don't think you've seen any of it, but like I've been following it because I'm so intrigued.
you talk the new Batman.
The Batman that's coming out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So apparently it's a murder mystery. So it's written as a story, like it's narrated by Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
So it's like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's a detective novel narrated as like a memory from Robert Pattinson about Riddler. And the whole idea is Batman, his vengeance is so high that he's almost like a serial killer. He's just killing. But so then there's a gray line between like, is he good or evil? And that's what the movie's about. Like, he's like trying to stop Riddler,
right?
But he's battling his own demons as like an evil Batman. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I like how DC keeps things extremely R-rated. You know? Like like Snyder Cut was kind of like that too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the DC. I think I've always liked the DC universe a little bit better than Marvel. Even like with the first Batmans, you know, with Michael Keaton, like that's so sick. You know, Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman for the Flash movie. He's coming back.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah, he's coming back as old Batman.
Oh, wow.
And they're saying that they might do Batman Beyond. So it's gonna be Batman, like Michael Keaton's teaching the new Batman. Right. Which would be pretty sick.
Right, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm more optimistic and hopeful for DC.
Yeah,
right
I think
now.
DC has a chance here now because
what's going on with Marvel? It's very odd. It's like, yeah. Even this Batman one, like I didn't think Robert Pattinson was going to be a good Batman because I'm like, he's like from Twilight, seeing him in Tenet, but like, no, apparently people, because the movie's already done and they're like screening for people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so at the account that I follow, they like collect all the Batman information and people have been tweeting like who've seen it and they're like, oh, it's great, it's a good movie. That's how I knew it was written like a detective novel. Like somebody was like tweeting about it. Yeah, so I'm hopeful for that one, but I think that's like 2022, right? It's not 2021. It's not coming out now.
I don't think it's this year. Yeah, I don't know the date actually. What's it called? Just The Batman?
Yeah, it's called The Batman. It looks really good. The Penguin. Do you see the trailer? Penguin.
In March.
March. Oh, okay, yeah, so next year. Do you see Penguin?
In the trailer? Yeah.
That's Colin Farrell. Crazy, right, dude?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you'd have never known.
Yeah,
he's got a fat suit on. I mean, like he's.
I know, of course, but it's like, yeah, that's it's not recognizable.
Yeah, I know.
That's
pretty cool, right? Yeah, I
like putting someone that is a recognizable actor, but you don't even recognize him on screen. Where that's
just like they said that in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Remember?
Like he's nowhere near recognizable. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at it.
The photo, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. So, okay, so speaking of March 2022, you were saying the endemic, we're like hitting the end. That's when they theorize, like Canada theorized that we're going to get rid of all COVID restrictions, March 2022. Or is it May? March.
Maybe it was March. I think it was March.
So the Batman, when that comes out, everything will be fully back to normal. No masks.
Possibly.
Probably theoretically, yeah.
But they're saying by the end of the year of next year,
it'll be all done.
It'll be more like an endemic but the countries that'll be coming out of it better, in the sense of better, I mean like opening up more things, will be countries like the US, UK, India, because they've had huge amount of cases. There you have, it's going to be a mix of vaccinated plus people who've recovered from it. So you're going to have you're going to coming up like, better. You're going to be removing a lot of the restrictions by that time, I think. Yeah,
and Canada was saying March 2022.
Ontario was saying. I don't know if it's all of Canada.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't say all of Canada.
But all right, so they released information about the pills they have pills for treating
there was
cool.
for emergency use. I think only in the UK so far is where they've
used it.
Used that. Yeah, the
good,
Merck.
Right? It's like 89% or something.
Yeah, for people who have had COVID or in the hospital. I think they were
that's cool. Yeah.
Then I think Pfizer came out very quickly with
their own
they've been working on, which is about also the same 80-90%.
Which is not bad. If you do like a pill, that's way better.
But this is if you have it. I think it's used if you have it.
But like, okay, whatever. Now you have a cure. Great.
Yeah.
My sister was saying that the medical system they're now offering it, and I don't think she said it was mandatory yet. I think even Rob Ford said it wasn't mandatory, the third one.
Oh, you mean the third booster?
Yeah, third booster, but she's going to take it. She's just like, well, I work with it every day. So,
right.
And she has like coworkers that have taken it already too, the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder what that's going to be like going forward too. Like, are they going to force us to get it or, you know, because usually what happens is it'll, like,
I think
roll
it
out in the
depends on
medical
like
system
how
first.
the caseloads are going.
True.
I feel like it's more like based on that. It's not mandatory yet. It's,
Do you know what the numbers are?
it's been averaging, I would say, around 500 in Ontario.
Oh, that's still quite high. Yeah.
It just this week was about, I think, averaging 500.
Oh, because I saw like, because before it was like 300, it dipped down. And I was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
no, I think it's just because it's getting colder. So if more people go inside,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it should go up a bit. I'm expecting it to go up a bit, but it's not like crazy high since we've had like kids going to school now, right?
Right.
For like months now.
True. Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah. And they're not
it's
doing like a whole school board shutdown like last time. So.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems like we're coming out of it.
It seems like it. Yeah. It will tick up a bit as winter gets in, just normal with any seasonal stuff. Then
It's so funny when it all began. It's like the 2 week stop, so we can stop this thing. Like, man,
we're already now done 2 years almost.
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But time went by so quick. If
Because
you remember,
every day is the exact same. I was listening to, well, speaking of everything being the exact same, there's this guy, this is a jiu-jitsu coach, like John Danaher. He was talking about Kaizen, like continuous improvement, and he's like, if you look at your days, you won't notice. They'll be compounded because nothing really happens that's big on a day-to-day basis. It's usually like one day out of your week that's like, oh, this is memorable, but like every single day is literally the same thing, you know. And then when you said that just now about like it went by so fast, I'm like, yeah, because every day is just it's even more feeling like every day is the same, you know, because everything's shut down, working from home. It's like, well, not you, but you know.
for me, nothing's changed.
But well, I mean, work wise,
Sure.
but it's weird. It is weird. It's like a weird like dream. Like when I think about it, it's like, because usually I like to travel like at least once a year, you know, to like some other place, and then now it's like, oh, it's been 2 years almost. I haven't left this country. It's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah. And it almost seems like those 2 years are a write-off. You know what I'm saying? It's very odd. So Elon Musk and world hunger.
Oh yeah, that's another topic.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clever. What his response when people were like, oh, you could just
some UN person like put up a thing where it's like, oh, 2% of his wealth or income, I don't remember what it was, that can stop world hunger or something.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll write you a check right now if you can prove to me how you can do it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting because like we tend to forget that like money doesn't create innovation. Like just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you will be innovative.
Yeah.
But it will fuel innovation. So it makes sense when he's like, if you can show me a business plan that's going to work, sure, I'll fund it.
Yeah.
But like,
and he said, and in the accounting or whatever has to be, what's the word? Where like where everybody can see it, right? Like how the breakdown of the money, where it's going.
Like public knowledge?
Transparent, yeah, to be transparent. Because, but they didn't say anything after that, because it's like.
Exactly, totally.
Like,
because like, you know, it's just going to fund a bunch of jobs that don't really do anything. You know? That's like the, I mean, this is like my world, nonprofit work, but it's weird how, I learned this in school too. I mean, but if I were to use the tool of marketing for anything, at least I try to make it altruistic. But they're saying like, for every $1, only 1 cent goes to the act, or 5 cents goes to the actual thing. Because you're paying for like admin software. We don't think about these things when people donate to like charities. It's way better if you just gave it straight to the homeless person. Don't give it to a charity. So like with the Elon Musk thing, you know, he's like, yeah, I'll give you the 60 billion, but I'm probably just going to give you a bunch of salaries. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really not going to go to solving world hunger.
That's why he said it has to be transparent so that we know what's exactly happening.
Yeah. And I love that he said that, because it's like, everyone used that line all the time, you know, oh, these trillionaires with their money, if only we used a piece of it. Like you hear, that's like the woke agenda all the time, you know, being like, oh, if they only shared their wealth, it's like, okay, prove it to me. Like money is not the be all end all. You need a viable plan, which nobody has, which I think is pretty funny that people put a lot of stock in that. That's become like the mantra. All these rich billionaires, 1%ers, damn them. But it's like, but you don't even know how to make it work.
Yeah, I don't know. Even with what they were saying, it's like feeding the hungry. I get that, it makes sense, but then I think there should be more to it where you have to teach them a tool, a skill.
That's so funny. Teach a man to fish, right?
Yeah, that's the great line of all. It's like, teach.
You need to bring them up economically with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is technically what the American agenda is. Why they go into different countries and try and like rebuild it, because they want us to they want those countries to join the Western world.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like what they did with Afghanistan, for example.
Afghanistan was
building.
But Afghanistan was different. They weren't there to nation build.
Yeah, but if you're okay,
right? Like I feel like there's other
the outward marketing of it being like we're not here to nation build, totally. But
they would want that at the end of it.
You are de facto doing that.
Yeah.
By being there,
right? By
setting up these governments, you are nation building.
Yeah. I heard that they had to ban people from using American dollars.
Oh, in Afghanistan?
In Afghanistan.
Damn, bro.
So you have to only use Afghani money.
Wow. It's so funny, we live in these... Actually, I was talking to my cousin about this in the Philippines. So, Jono, we were talking about this. We were talking about I sent him a picture or the video of that self-driving bus. I was like, oh, like in Port Union, like they're already implementing this for... limited use, so they can build AI, whatever. And he's like, oh, that'll be so crazy in the future. Everything will be he's like, imagine your car comes to you. And I was like, oh no, dude, that's a thing. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like Vish has a Tesla. You can actually buy the programming to have the car come to you.
It's called summiting. Yeah.
And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude, this is the future. You know what I mean? So it's so funny to think that there's such a disparity between Western world, like developed worlds and developing worlds.
Yeah.
Such a disparity.
But sometimes there is disparity in that, but there's always sometimes a jump in technology that can happen. So like the simplest thing I can think of is like where not everybody had landlines, but now everybody has cell phones.
Oh yeah, you're skipping a step in technology. Yeah, totally.
So that could happen where if there's like a really good benefit to certain technology, and it's just easier to jump onto that, and it's much more cheaper.
True. Yeah. Fair point. Yeah.
It's more easier to I don't know what the next thing is going to be, but
it's the thing. Yeah, maybe they're like self-driving. Like they're like, oh, it's cheaper if we just jump straight to self-driving. Yeah. Yeah, well, that would be pretty interesting to see, like if they skip a step.
Yeah.
Like we're thinking of it linearly. Oh, they still need their landlines. They still need their
I think
no, they don't need that.
Right.
Like Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink is another thing because that was meant to actually help people in rural areas to connect to the internet.
Yeah. So if you get high-speed internet via satellites, then you just made a technological leap for developing countries,
right?
Because they don't need wires anymore. Honestly, if you think about the innovation of humanity, it's pretty bananas. Like we're already talking about high-speed internet via satellite links so that people in rural areas can get high-speed internet without having to like dig up the ground.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All within when was the invention of fossil fuel? When did they start using that? Like
it was more like 100 years ago when that became
fossil fuel.
Yeah, started becoming the main thing, the big thing.
Yeah, so like
100 years ago.
Our technological leap within 100 years is so insane.
And then when the internet was happening, from internet to now, it's like so much has changed.
You know what's weird? When we think about, the evolution of the human species, how we're like, oh, how do we get to like stone tools to giant kingdoms?
Right.
People are like, how did you jump? And they're like, there must be like alien tampering. Like the aliens must have came down And we haven't spoken about aliens in a while, but the aliens must have came down, genetically engineered the Homo erectus, and then created Homo sapiens. Like that's one of the theories. Like, how could humans jump so fast? But you're like, look at the technological innovation within 100 years. Like that trumps everything in our history. We're sending people to Mars.
Yeah, I mean, we can
less than 100 years.
True. Yeah.
Like what? Like people are so mind boggled. Like we really don't give humanity enough credit. You know, we think that there's an alien tampering process that happened to make us go from like stone tools to like farming.
Yeah.
But that took thousands of years.
Yeah.
Literally,
yeah.
we're communicating with rovers on Mars right now, and that's not even 100 years. Not even 100 years from the first like launch into space.
Right.
It's like we don't give ourselves enough credit.
Yeah, like we tend to forget. I mean, like there was a Google documentary, on something like that, where it's like, you know, libraries used to be the thing, and you had to like search for a book.
Right.
And it's like we just like we had to physically search for a book versus now it's just type it in and you got access to it right away.
That's what
like how fast is that?
Yeah, totally. That's what Wikipedia was supposed to be. I think I said that before. It's like the digital Library of Alexandria. Like they were inspired by the idea of Library of Alexandria, so they created Wikipedia. Yeah. So it's like a source where you can get all knowledge. Right? Like we really don't give ourselves enough credit. And there's no magic here. It's just like human innovation. It's almost scary though, because it's like, what a crazy virus we are. Like infecting host worlds.
Sure, yeah, but that's what we're designed to do.
Yeah, totally. So
it's kind of
it's just really mind-boggling when you think about it. Like people who talk about like Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about this one. So Joe Rogan was talking about, you know what I think it is? I think it's like, unless you see it with your eyes, you can't really conceptualize it. So Joe Rogan is obsessed with Egypt, and he's always like, oh my God, like the pyramids are these amazing structures that were built a long time ago without tools. Like, how did they build them so high, whatever, right? And he, like the magnificence of it, right? But if you physically go to see it, you're like, oh, there's just a bunch of blocks. Like, I wasn't like astounded by it. I was like, cool, I could see how this would be done, right? And then Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, because Joe Rogan and Neil deGrasse Tyson were talking about the pyramids, he's like, no, like, what about the Wiz Khalifa? Not the Wiz Khalifa, the Khalifa Tower in
which
Dubai.
One? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right.
So it's like, that's
Burj Khalifa, right? Is that what?
I have no idea.
Anyway,
it's called Khalifa.
Yeah.
So that is an engineering marvel. Like, what are you talking about? Pyramids, bro? This is like the biggest thing made of metal. Like, look at our civilization. You know, they're like, oh, well, we can make these pyramids now. It's like, yeah, we just lost that knowledge. Whatever. Look at what we're building now. You give a laptop to a person in Egypt, they're gonna think we're a freaking magician. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not apples to apples comparison. That's an apples to oranges. You know, like we're looking at a pyramid, but it's like, okay, so we forgot that. Who cares? It's like a giant stone temple. But like, look at the cities we built. Dubai was literally built like from the desert, right?
Yeah, it's a desert. Yeah.
That is an engineering marvel.
Yeah.
We're so focused with esoteric things from the past, we don't see the present moment. You know what's even more of a mind blow? What they're saying is that genetically, we're no different than people from like 5,000 years ago or like 10,000 years ago. Like genetically, like, like our brain are like if you took somebody from that time and put them here and just gave them clothes, you'd be like, oh, that's a human, like normal contemporary human. But like, so what does that mean about like how we operate? It's just knowledge we're missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it has nothing to do with our hardware. It's all software, which is again crazy. Actually, this brings up language. This
is the point of education,
right, dude? It's so crazy. So, like, speaking of languages, so me being inspired by Dune and Eternals, like, I picked up the sign language apps, and we were saying how, like, it must have been the first language that was created, which is sign language, and you Googled it. It was, right?
Yeah.
Because to do sign language, it's actually very easy. You're just picking up like key signs, and then you're building a sentence around that.
Yeah.
So it's like I show you 3 signs, and then you're like, you have a whole sentence. But I didn't show you the sentence. You built the sentence in your head.
Right.
Right. So of course, naturally, sign language would be the first language, because how do you get people to agree on like context or like conjugation or like, you know what I mean? Like connecting words. There is no sign for the. We just made that up because we need to get from A to B.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And like looking at it like that, it's like how fast our brain is able to contextualize things, and like just from 3 signs, you create a whole sentence in your head. You know, it's like we're a lot more grand in our thinking than we give ourselves credit for. And
it makes sense too. It's like when you're hunting, you have to be quiet.
Exactly,
so how do you talk?
Yeah. Why would you talk? But even totally, I agree. But then in the next step of that, it's like, how do you know that the word deer, the sound deer, right? If you can't make that with your mouth, how can we agree that that's the word for deer? But we both can like sign things out. You know?
Or you have an image for deer.
Yeah, or you have an image. Yeah. So it's like, words definitely came later.
Words came later, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because like Tara's like, oh, why don't you learn a language? I'm like, that's so much harder. Like sign language is so easy because it's just like pictures.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Human ingenuity. Okay, so speaking of human ingenuity, the next thing I got is the Facebook Metaverse. Yeah.
Metaverse now. Facebook is now called Meta.
Yeah.
It's basically, if you watch Ready Player One, that's kind of what they want to create.
Dude, it's so funny because remember when we watched Ready Player One and we're like, this is definitely possible, especially with VR and stuff, haptic suits that just came out. It's like, that's where we're going. We're literally so now we're creating worlds within. We already had worlds within worlds, which is like video games. We've been saying that for a while, but now we have like legit worlds within worlds. So like I saw this really funny meme where it's like the metaverse we all thought, and it was like the cover of Ready Player One, and then the metaverse, what it really is, it's a person in a room with just like a headset, like they have nothing, just like a cot. Right. And remember I was saying before, like this is a long time ago, how we were playing GTA 5, and what if your whole day sucked and you lived your life in the video game? Because in the video game you're like a millionaire.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere you want. Like if you play GTA 5, it's like it's a world.
Right.
So now just put on a headset and a haptic suit, boom. Who cares about life?
Right.
Which is, it's like Inception, like when he's like, oh, all these people come here to dream. No, they come here to wake up. Remember that? Like in the basement? Yeah. That's quickly where we're headed.
Yeah. I just think there's that's their vision there they want to get to. It's just, I feel like it's harder just for one company to get this done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Who knows? What if they buy out other companies? Could be. Yeah,
but there's still other bigger companies you're dealing with, like other Google, Apple. Like they're not, gonna let one company necessarily take over it all.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's a grand vision they have.
Well, I couldn't see Apple getting into this game though. Like, what would they?
No, not like creating a metaverse, but like there's other things that you're going to be doing, right? Like it's hard to
haptic suits. Like building haptic suits.
Yeah, it could be things like that, products. Or like the Apple glasses. Like how they were wearing glasses and doing that.
No, but that's still in our world though.
Yeah,
that's more augmented reality.
Like we can see AR. Like they're working in. No, I know, but they're not talking about the future. They're talking about you can only go based on what's happening now, right? And some of these things won't even probably.
Oh, you're talking about metaverse?
Yeah, like even for the metaverse, some of the ideas may not even happen or come out because you don't know what's leading the next change. And you're going to get ideas that you didn't even think about.
That's true too.
Because you don't have the technology yet for that ideas to even happen.
So do you think that whole presentation was more of like a peer into the future? Or do you think that's something they're working on right now? They have. There
are some things they're working in the future. Then they also said like there's some things that we don't have the technology yet to do some of these things.
Did they differentiate between the two?
Maybe at some points when they said that, like,
because that'd be kind of cool.
I think he did say something like where we would like to get there, but we don't even have the technology yet for this. I think he said like not like directly that, but something like that.
Yeah, just giving us like hopes and dreams.
Yeah. But that's that was the whole idea of that
presentation.
That presentation.
That's cool. I mean, I don't know if I want to join that world either. Like we're just.
But there was a lesson at the end of Ready Player One, right?
Well, I don't remember it all.
Which was to live in the real world, shut off from the digital. That was the main lesson at the end.
But then you go back to the Matrix. Like, what is real?
No, I know, but I think this is the clash is going to continue to happen, right?
Oh, between the real and the fake worlds.
Yeah,
very true. Yeah.
And then like, I don't know. It's like so many people. It was just. There can be like very cool things I can see, experiences that can happen from it. I just don't know how much of, like, what level of, are we going to reach all that? And I don't know how long it's going to take to even reach some of those things that he has brought up.
Dude, in that presentation. We didn't think we'd hit Mars. You know, like we didn't think we'd be colonizing Mars. You just never know. You know?
No. Yeah.
And I feel like that's not so bad of a. We basically already have that going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like what they propose with the metaverse. We basically have that with especially with Xbox.
Yeah.
You create avatars and then you can like interact with people.
Like so basically, even what he said too, it's like the only way to really move this forward, first of all, is it's going to be video games. Like this is the only way that this leads forward is through video games.
Yeah.
And they know that. So they're going to become like a video game company too.
Well, they have their own streaming service for video games. Max Holloway, he's like signed to Facebook.
No, that's Facebook gaming.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So I'm saying like they would have to either have platforms create games specifically for their platform.
Do you think they're going to do like a system? They're going to join the systems game?
I don't think. I think systems are done. It's again everything like Google Stadia. Like it's all digital. Like it's running through their servers.
Yeah, it's like why would I buy a physical thing?
The only thing physical you had to buy would be the Oculus.
Yeah.
To get into that world, or like those like glasses, AR glasses, or things like that.
Yeah, that's so weird. It's like the Marvel shift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward to, and now this like metaverse I'm not looking forward to. Remember when they shifted their name and like I thought it was purely like a marketing thing because they bad press, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like instead of saying like Facebook got caught doing this, now it's like Meta got caught doing this. Mm-hmm. That's good from a marketing perspective because then it doesn't hurt your brand.
Yeah,
you know. But when they released all this information about the metaverse, it's like, okay, you're really taking this in a whole different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought, Some dude from, was he from Harvard? Dropout from Harvard?
Yeah. I think so.
Again, innovation, man. The internet came out, 93? And look how far we've come now. Mm-hmm. It hasn't even been 20 years.
Yeah.
Actually, really think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking about like, it hasn't even been 100 years. And we've already traveled to Mars and we're looking at colonizing it. Look at our cities that we built through 100 years of like coal, right? And then now the metaverse has been created in less than 20 years of the internet becoming a thing. Like human innovation is really rapid. Mm-hmm. We just don't think about it. Mm-hmm. It's pretty intense. Okay, final thing. Because I like speaking of innovation. Yeah. Do you remember Dragon Center?
No,
you don't remember that. All right, so
what is that?
I wonder if there's like a statute of limitations on certain things. We'll just say that this is all theoretical.
Okay.
But remember when we were kids? Theoretically, remember when we were kids, and then I had the PlayStation.
Okay.
And then you'd go to like Dragon Center to get it modded.
Okay.
Remember that? And then
I know modding. Yeah, I don't know about Dragon Center.
And then you'd buy, the most clutch move is you'd buy a computer with a CD burner. And then you just go to like Video99, rent the game, and then burn the CD.
Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy that we were that sophisticated. Like I had this thought recently, and I was thinking about that in the past, like going to Dragon Center and being like, I want to mod my PlayStation, and then they would sell you like games from Asia that you could buy for like $10. Mm-hmm. You know, that were all burned games.
Right.
And you could burn them yourself. It's like, we were really like little hackers, man. You know, we'd even burn StarCraft and pass around the CD, and then we'd share the CD key with each other, or like having CD key generators. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
You download a CD key generator, and then they would give you like a passcode to unlock StarCraft.
Yeah.
So trippy. And then it's so funny because like there were all these holes in the system, so we would like take advantage of the holes, and then now the security is so like tight. You can't do that anymore.
No.
That was like a thing. That's something that kids will never know about.
Yeah.
Like burning CDs and like getting free games. Trippy.
It's hard to like if you want to try to even screen record, like it automatically knows if you have Netflix on or something, it won't record the screen at all.
Even the code,
it's like it's interesting.
Yeah. It is really interesting to think about it like that. Like we've really, like in the infancy stage of like the internet, we really took advantage of it, and then they patched up all the holes over time. And now it's almost like impossible to like
I guess the hackers have to be at another level too, right? They got to keep getting better and better and better. But like there's a limit to if it was easier before, now it's getting harder and harder and harder.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's almost genius because instead of like the reason why we would have to hack the system is because it's expensive, right? Remember like stealing songs and stuff like Napster or whatever? Or like LimeWire. And then now they just made streaming. It's like, okay, instead of stealing all the music, just pay monthly a cheap fee, and then you can have all the music you want.
Basically it got cheaper and cheaper because it was the reaction to that was then iTunes and 99 cents a song or something, right?
Yeah.
And then now it's like
even back then though, 99 cents was like, I'd rather just get the song for free. Like why would I buy?
Right. Yeah. But I mean, it did shift a little bit, right? Like it was like people were buying the songs because it was just, I only want that one song, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So it was like, I don't need the whole album.
$1.
It's like, I don't need the whole album. I just want that one song. And then it's like, and now with streaming is even more technically cheaper than that. Right?
Yeah, totally.
But you don't own the rights to anything. You don't own the product, totally. But that's fine.
Yeah, that's
we don't
as
really,
consumers, we don't care, but the artist cares. But like, but like, it's what do you call that? It's like your cost per unit is so like, so before it was like 99 cents for one song, right? So it was like $1 for one. Now it's like $14, let's say, for streaming service per month, but you have access to billions of songs. So you divide like $14 across a billion. It's like, that's a no-brainer. I would just rather, like, why would I spend the countless hours trying to hack a song?
Right.
Just, you know? Because, I mean, there's still ways to do it. You could download, like, the song off YouTube.
Yeah.
But it won't really work on your phone.
Yeah, there's still ways to do it. It's more, not like, I think it's a level of convenience.
Yeah, that's all it is. And that was the genius move of them. It's like, why fight them? Just join them at their own game. Make a better product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why would we fight copywriting? Let's stop battling copywriting. Let's just make something more convenient than having to copyright. Yeah. Innovation. That's really the theme of this podcast. Changing times, innovation. I think I'll still call it Eternals though for the clickbait. But
right.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else?
No, nothing else. Maybe, I don't know. Nothing else. I don't think. Yeah.
All right. So next week, no movies come out next week.
Yeah, I guess nothing. I don't know. We'll find out next week.
All right. There's always something. All right. Till next time, Vish. Take it easy.
Yeah. Peace.
Bye. All right. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors, Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.